Welcome to another edition of MDC's Making Waves. My name is Luis Perez.
And I'm Lorgia Velasquez. To start us off, students are slowly coming back on campus.
That's right, Lorgia. It's hard to believe that it's been over 2 years since COVID-19 was declared by the World Health Organization to be a global pandemic.
And in those 2 years of ups and downs, students especially have difficulty in adjusting to the circumstances. Many have lost their jobs and family members. On top of this, many have suffered from a more stressed and deteriorating mental health as a result. One student saying that, quote, COVID has affected my experience at MDC by making me feel like I wasn't able to take full of what I needed to learn in some classes, end quote.
Furthermore, programs such as film and television have suffered through much stress and uncertainty given the disease. This didn't stop our sharks from coming up with creative short films and many from seeking the college's many offerings, from virtual mental health discussions to food distributions. Our sharks have weathered through the storm and we're proud of them.
We've also seen that recently, minus a momentary spike in the beginning of the year, cases have been going down and MDC has reopened its doors to more physical classes. This is to continue into the entirety of 2022.
Big step forward for all of us.
That's right.
Speaking of reopening campuses for more physical and in-person classes, North Campus reopens its Aquatic and Fitness Center. The campus decided to reopen its Aquatic and Fitness Center back in early January, available to MDC students, faculty, and staff members with a membership. Memberships include the use of upright bikes, elliptical machines, treadmills, as well as access to the 25 by 30 yard pool.
Outstanding. Things are slowly but surely going back to normal. In other news, the following segment is for the parents watching. Governor Ron DeSantis is expected to sign the Parental Rights and Educational Bill into law in the coming weeks. This bill was passed on the 24th of February by Florida's own House of Representatives.
That's right. If passed, the legislation would prohibit classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity with primary schools. This is, of course, very broad language, and as Representative Joe Harding states, that the bill will not prohibit the discussion of events and history related to LGBT community.
And as we wait for the results, MDC has officially launched MDC Tech. As a cornerstone institution in Miami, partners like the Miami Downtown Development Authority, City of Miami, and the Knight Foundation have funded upwards of $15 million in the support of innovation within artificial intelligence and being able to meet community demand for talent.
In related news, construction continues on the new state-of-the-art school building that will house KIPP Royalty Academy and Courage Academy. The new building is being made to directly support KIPP Miami's effort of expanding its educational model from 300 students to 1,500 students from kindergarten to 12th grade. The building will be part of MDC's North Campus and is expected to be completed by July this year.
That's not all. KIPP has also made it clear that with the assistance of the college, aspiring teachers will be able to receive hands-on experience and exposure to the profession through their Teacher in Residence program. This would also help in the certification process for said aspiring teachers. Our next story talks about a garden featuring South Florida native plants.
That's right. North Campus receives $1,800 grant from the Florida Wildflower Foundation. The grant will use to establish an ecosystem for the conservation of South Florida's native plants. More than 20 pine rockland species will be displayed in front of the science complex. Very nice addition to the cast visit, if you ask me. In other news, inner city kids gaining entrepreneurial skills?
That's right. This year marks the second anniversary of Patrick F. Hidalgo, a community leader and political strategist. In celebration of his legacy, the family of the late community leader has launched the Patrick F. Hidalgo Scholarship Fund at Miami-Dade College. The fund provides scholarships, mentorships, and other important support resources to students at MDC's Carrie P. Meek Entrepreneurial Educational Center.
Support carries people a long way. Speaking of support, MDC alumni Marina Serrano has been commissioned by the Miami Film Festival and Oliet Arts, a nonprofit art institution, to create a short film. Mariana is to develop Arroz, Leche, y Powerball, a short film that follows a dysfunctional Hispanic family that takes a shot at the grand prize to better their lives. Mariana is given $15,000 to produce the film.
Truly an amazing opportunity for her. Speaking of amazing opportunities, Gabriela Cardenas has been given the opportunity as Director of Recruitment at North Campus's new Student Center. Cardenas has worn many hats, from senior staff associate on the pre-college advising team at Hialeah campus to college advisor and international student coordinator and advisor at the Eduardo J. Padron campus. Gabriela portrays promising qualities as a director of recruitment.
Keeping the ball rolling, Vice President Marlou C. Harrison has been selected as one of Florida's most impactful and influential black women by Knox Magazine. Harrison has been part of our college since 1989 and has had multiple roles from college president to executive assistant. Harrison has been integral in the workings of not one, but 4 campuses.
Impressive.
It sure is, though education is not where achievement starts and ends. She's writing chapters in books dealing with creating brighter futures for disenfranchised youth. Truly an example for all.
Which all the talk of opportunity and progress has led us to our final story.
Yes, that's right. As of the beginning of this year, MDC has opened more opportunities for students to continue their education and upgrade it through our institutions like FIU and UM. This is possible due to a set of agreements signed to allow current students an easier time in transferring from MDC to another college.
The incentives and aids are present in waived applications, merit-based scholarships, personalized support, and more.
Here's a direct quote from MDC's Vice President of Innovation and Technology Partnership, Antonio Delgado. Quote, "These timely new agreements allow our graduates to upgrade their education and economic mobility locally in a seamless pathway, growing the talent pool for South Florida's ecosystem." End quote.
And with that, we wrap up today's news segment. In today's ups and downs, we hope that this informed and served as an aid for your future. Next up, stay tuned for an interview with Billy Oliver.
Howdy everyone, I'm Crazy John, and today, unlike usual nights when I go to sleep, I'm not alone. I am joined by Professor Billy Oliver, and he's here today to talk about the new studio that we're sitting in right before you. But first, how are you today, Billy?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm feeling great because I got a legend in the making next to me.
Well, I appreciate you having me here.
Of course. So Billy, what prompted the upgrade to the studio?
Well, it's been almost 4 years ago now. I attended NATP, National Association of Television Programming Executives.
Sounds fancy.
And they have this program where professors can intern with the TV stations, which is a good idea because after you've been teaching for a while, you kind of are out of the loop and you don't know what's going on. So I applied for it and they accepted me. So I did an internship at Channel 10. And I noticed that we were a little bit behind on the equipment. They were using a lot of automated stuff that we just didn't have here. So I went to my bosses and started saying, hey, we really need to upgrade the television studio, and our we want to educate our students. We want them to be job ready. So when they leave here, they can go right to work, and we're not giving them that experience with our current equipment. And they, being the good bosses that they are, listened to me. I took them on a field trip and we went to Channel 10 and I showed them what was in the industry and the difference. And we got an $850,000 grant to upgrade the TV studio.
Wow, that's amazing, and a lot of money, might I add. But you said you went to your bosses and you took them on a field trip. Tell me a little more about that. What was that trip like for you guys?
Well, we went to Channel 10 and basically I showed them we don't really have any automation. Everything is done manual. The video switcher is manual, the cameras are manual. At Channel 10, they basically can run the entire control room with one person. So they have a system called, that's made by Ross. and it's called the Overdrive.
Okay.
And it is a central computer that is capable of controlling all aspects. It can move the robotic cameras. It can fade up and fade down microphones. It can bring in graphics. It can play video. And you just need to know how to program it as the operator. So we didn't have anything like that. And that's what I showed them there. And they were pretty impressed by it and amazed.
So I've got another question for you. Did you find that the quality of production went up when the cost of the studio went up, or did the students remain the same, just with easier equipment to get things done?
Well, we just got this installed last semester, so this is my full semester. So I honestly can't tell you that it has improved them, but I expect it to, because now the students can learn how to do the automation. And most of the TV stations here in South Florida are using some kind of control room automation for news, at least, not for drama and talk show and things like that, but for news they're using some kind of automation. So at least now the students have some preparation to go to these TV stations and know and understand what the automation is and how to operate it and what to do with it.
That's awesome. And do you see any overlap with the Telemundo program and the new TV studio that we have here?
Yeah, we currently have a program with Telemundo, but also we are working on, and this hasn't been announced yet, we're working on something with Univision at the same
Making Waves
time.
exclusive.
Yes, so the workshop class that I teach, it's possible as early as sometime next year, we may be teaching a session of the television workshop at Univision.
That is
where
so
we
exciting.
use their equipment and get the benefit of their expertise for the students. And so yeah, we're very excited about Telemundo, who's been with us already for a few years, and the possibility of working with Univision as well in the future.
Okay. And I guess for my final question, I'll ask you, we've been talking about the students so much. How are you enjoying the new studio upgrades? Have you got to play with them yourself? And
I enjoy it, and it's, if you can imagine, I had my first job in TV September 1980. So that's 42 years ago. So you can imagine the change in technology since I started. I actually used the big 2-inch wide video machine that was the size of a double wide refrigerator. Huge.
I've never even seen one of those in my life. Yeah.
Huge device, and now you can do the same thing on a hard drive. You can have all that information. So one of the things that I loved about this job, and I've been a professor for 31 years now, one of the things I love about it is it's never stagnant. It's always changing. Once you feel like you've got it under control and you know everything, the game changes and you got to start all over. So a lot of the stuff isn't too much different, but the automation part of it is something totally new for me that I'm still in the process of learning.
That's awesome, because as a teacher, it's okay to still be able to learn, because, you know, us as the students, maybe we could teach you a little something. You know?
I've learned a lot more from my students and from teaching than I ever did when I was a student myself. I learn something every day. Yeah,
that's amazing to hear. So, Billy, let me ask you, for those at home that want to learn more, where can they contact you?
They can call our office. The number is 305-237-1696. That's
pens, paper. Make sure you're getting that.
237-1696. That'll give you our main office, and then you can tell them what you're interested in, and they can direct your call in the right direction. Or you can go on to the Miami-Dade College website, mdc.edu, and
I hope you still have that pen and paper. Say it one more time for them.
mdc.edu.
Exactly.
And you can look up you can just type in search for film or television. We also offer music business and some photography classes and some graphics. So whatever you're interested in, type that in or give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Okay. And that's only some of the amazing programs we have over here at MDC, but I'm sorry, that's all the time we have today. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. This was kind of an impromptu thing, but we came here and we killed it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I knew you could do it.
Oh, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Crazy John, and that's it for the interview.
That was a very informative interview. Now stay tuned as we ask students on the streets about their reactions of coming back to MDC.
Hey everyone, my name is Kevin and I'm here at Miami-Dade College North Campus to speak to the student body about how COVID has affected their lives and how we're readjusting to life after COVID here in our beautiful campus. So what would you say are some differences that you've seen before and after the pandemic with regards to student life here at campus?
To be honest, parking space. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
There used to be a good amount of students coming in for parking decals or IDs.
Things like the obvious, like less people willing to come into the campus, and therefore the clubs that previously were available are now less. They have less support.
Because a lot of students doesn't come on campus anymore because of COVID, and with less students, which means less activities, because when we do, like the college still provide those activities, but a lot of students doesn't really show up. Club rush, every night there was like supposed to be like an event or something of the sort, but now there's little to almost nothing going on campus.
The students only come for school and then they go back home, or they come for health and they go back home. They don't really take the time to stay on campus anymore.
Would you say you prefer online or in-person classes?
Personally, I like it online because, like I said, it's very comfortable being home, going on your own pace. Sometimes
I still prefer online.
Okay.
I don't mind in person. It's just that there's more support for online. For example, recordings are more prevalent, and if you're a shy person, it's a little bit easier on you. But there's definitely classes that should be in person anyways, especially the more hands-on stuff.
Some classes just don't want to be in the classroom. It's more important if you are in class, a math class, than online, because online you can be distracted really easily when you're taking classes. So for this part, I'll say a little bit of both. In-person classes for sure, because I know that some people will be struggling with the labs, especially chemistry.
Online, because again, you could previously review the recordings of it, and then sometimes in person it could be a little intimidating, like you don't want to speak up.
I would say I prefer in person, but I've become accustomed to online. I'm a first-time college student. This is like my third semester on this campus. But just this semester, I've had my lab class in person, and it kind of took me a while to get accustomed to it.
Have you used any of the services from Miami-Dade College during the pandemic?
the recreational room, cafeteria, all different things are opening back up, so.
The food pantry, free bus passes.
Yeah, so this bag is actually from the food pantry. I just got it right now. Single stop resources, the tutoring services as well. Basically everything. I like to take advantage of everything here at the school.
Good.
Single stop, which I now work there because of how much they've helped me.
What would you recommend to students who are just now starting their college experience after the pandemic?
Try to join a club. This is where you actually make friends and make a lot of connection.
Reach out to the professor first if you can to get an idea of what their classes are like.
I realized that when I started coming on campus, that's when my grades became better. I became connected with more of the staff, which led me to more resources.
I would say definitely get a calendar. It gives you reminders of when your homework is due. Don't procrastinate at all. Don't do it. Find your own group as soon as you can, because you know it does help with like making classes easier and all that stuff, and also like join all the WhatsApp group chats from your classes. You know, sometimes like you're scared to ask the professor a question, but you feel more comfortable to ask them in a WhatsApp group chat.
I would just say to hang in there, that everything's gonna turn out okay as long as you give it all you got, you know.
That was great. Now up next we have Crazy John with What's the Deal?
Hey there, I'm Crazy John, and boy, do I have some deals for you. Look at this TV. It's the Insignia 4K Smart TV. This bad boy's 50 inches, and you know what they say. Size don't matter as long as you got the dough. And this beaut is going for $299 at Best Buy. What about your grandma's novellas? Or the local news? Well, I got just the thing. Grab one of these. It's an indoor antenna that'll display local HD channels, and it's just $14.99. Abuelita's going to be real happy about that one. I can guarantee that one for you. Oh, but I know what you're thinking. What about me? Things can't always be about dear old Abuelita. Yeah, that's why you're selfish, but I do have something for you. I've got $1.99 a month Hulu. Not your style, neither is my wife's, but I do gotta say their anime selection ain't half bad. Anyway, I got Prime Student for 6 months for, wait for it, free! Yes, free! It's these kind of deals that put a big old smile on Crazy John's face. Now, with all that entertainment, you're gonna have to make some food. Don't you fret, my dear old viewer. Johnny's got your back with HelloFresh. You'll be able to cook up and make delicious meals. Don't know how to cook? Me neither! The missus says it's an issue, and I definitely agree. So I got myself a subscription to HelloFresh, and I've been cooking for my home for about a week now. I hate it. But you don't have to. With their easy-to-follow recipes and pre-portioned meals and fresh ingredients, kiss going to the market goodbye. Bye-bye to wearing a mask to get frozen chicken, beef, or whatever it is you need when these people send it right to your doorstep. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, is this just a one-time meal? And are you getting tired of speaking so fast and remembering all these deals? Firstly, thank you for the concern. And no, I'm running on 2 hours of sleep and an Oreo. This is just how it is to be me. Secondly, I'm so glad you asked because I get to express just how wrong you are. Now you best sit down because you're gonna learn today. HelloFresh is a subscription service that can offer more than 25 meals a week, crafted by chefs and nutritionists for your enjoyment and benefit. This includes your proteins consisting of fish, chicken, beef, plus whatever other part of that food pyramid that we were all supposed to learn in elementary, but can't remember now. On top of this, there is no sort of commitment and you can cancel whenever you'd like. Oh, and guess what? If you use my deal, you'll get 15% off your first box plus free shipping. So what are you waiting for? I know you're sick of ramen and Mickey D's dollar menu, broke boy. So go online and sign up now. What else do you want? Do you want me to put clothes on your back too? Well, if I got it, then check out Five Below, a brick and mortar plus online store where you can buy various graphic tees, pants, and even those sweatpants your significant other keeps saying you look so great in, so they stole. All for $5 or, well, below. It's in the name. The only reason I'm explaining it is because I'm under contract to do so. So yeah, it's basically Dollar Tree if it was slightly more bougie, emphasis on slightly. Now that you're all decked out with a fresh TV, fresh clothes, and even you fancy yourself a chef, even though you've only cooked like 3 meals and you're sure that streak of success is soon to crumble, it's time for the cherry on top, books. Yeah, I said it, books. You're a student after all. You're gonna need some textbooks eventually. For that, I point you to Chegg.com, the best place to find affordable digital and physical textbooks at discounted prices. On top of this, if you wanted additional help on your homework, you could subscribe to Chegg Study, which allows you to take a look at the solutions to those pesky problems you just can't wrap your head around. For the monthly price of $14.95. And hey, if you're like me and looking for a gig that pays, Chegg Internships got your back. There you'll find plenty of companies and businesses looking for inexperienced people who are willing to learn and commit. If that doesn't suit you, then there's temporary options too. Well, that's about all it for the deals for today. Crazy John, that's about all I got up my sleeve. Tune in next time for more deals to make your life as a student at least a bit more interesting and tolerable in the current state of the world. This has been Crazy John. See ya.
And that's all the time we have for Making Waves. I'm Luis Perez.
And I'm Lorgia Vasquez.
And goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.